So today I chanted 36 rounds, not very high quality, I would say, but I did 38. 38 rounds. What I took away from the retreat this weekend, both of our very nice speakers both touched on this subject of putting the schedule into our lives, giving the schedule. That's pretty novel. It said that if you can't see Maya, you're in Maya. And I think that with the schedule, within the schedule, there are frequencies, which means something that's done regularly and done a lot. And if you put Krishna as the topic of those frequencies, then even though Maya is out there in the streets kicking up butts, you come around every day and follow your schedule to get back on track with Krishna. So the schedule, I thought, was a good takeaway from the retreat. Thank you. It was a really nice community. We were all in together. Not only that, there was a strong intimacy of mind. It was a wonderful scene, inspiring for us. And everyone was into it very much, including the little children. I mean, they were quite intense. So it was a joyful experience. I chanted 7 rounds, and so I'm trying to set some goals that challenge us. I appreciated being here with many others, and you're all going to count. I appreciate it. And thank you for the opportunity.
Anybody else would like to share what their experience was? And I'm not shy calling on people. Go ahead. Right there.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. It was first retreat that I attended.
First
one. So, but I have some experience with the devotee or the YouTube other retreats. So I was able to chant 64 rounds, but not on my strength. Not like not very high quality, but still I was able to chant. And for me, the strength came from the Friday evening lecture. Starting from the Friday evening lecture, set the expectation, and then the next day morning lecture, so that Shamsandra was shared his experiences, his experience. So and then very wonderful kirtans. So all in all, that when during the chanting, when my mind was again going back to planning for the next week, then try to remember some of the pictures and some of the quotes as part of the presentation. Then I will be able to come back. And my takeaway from this is it's very important to hear senior devotees lecture and understand their experience. That always helps when you struggle. I mean, they have already gone through this, so if we can learn from their experience, we can improve our experience too.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Today I have been very happy after chanting 64 rounds. It was like a dream to me and almost an impossible task, because whenever I chant 20 rounds, generally my hands start paining or something happens. So without noticing, I was able to chant. Sometimes my mind was distracting. I was able to hear the good lectures by Maharaj and chanting. It was very nice. And sometimes I was surrendering to the expectation that please give me that strength. And presentation was very nice and very motivating. And sometimes I sat down with Tulsi Maharani so that I felt more. Actually, I have done 64 rounds. I felt happy, but after circumambulating and I was doing, I felt ecstasy. I felt very, very happy. I felt very nice. So, it was a really wonderful experience to have this working in kids. I requested my friends and colleagues to come to this. I mean, they just came interviewing to get some of the discourses. But it was very nice. I'm very happy for this moment.
Thank you. Over here, up front.
Thank you very much for the questions. I take them, and that helped me a lot in giving me a lot of energy and having the right mood of chanting. We, like, every time I attend a several retreats, I know I derive a lot of energy from these retreats. And it stays for a few weeks or months sometimes. And again, then the energy is subsiding, going down. And then I need a booster dose where I need to attend another retreat. So we desperately want to attend the history retreat, but unfortunately, we is sick on the day. And today, but we did not receive a single lecture of history retreat. We played multiple times, but in person, when I experienced it, I can feel a lot of energy that I could not sleep. And then I woke up at 1 o'clock and took my shower. And then I completed all my japa, 64 rounds by the time I'm here.
Wow.
I know the pattern how it is going. It will stay for a few months, sometimes very few months, like very few weeks only. And then again I need to boost the this. So thank you very much for inspiring a lot. We are tips and tricks, especially Shantara Prabhu gave the Hare Krishna mantra. Just following mind will go here and exactly as you said.
So did I hear right? You had 64 rounds completed by the time you came to the temples.
You are around 3 rounds, 3 times are completed.
How many rounds total today?
I did more than 7. After 70, I did not count.
After 70, didn't you? Anyone else would like to share?
Thank you for this opportunity. Conducting this authority was very wonderful for us. It was the first time for myself and my wife. So the one thing that really helped me was all this is of course, but the one verse that you repeated today, that when I put the name of Krishna immediately here next to you. So I heard that before, but somehow after I saw it in a couple of slides, a couple of times, Friday and today, somehow it remained in my cards, and then every time I was there, not every time, but almost once in various meditations I was able to remember. And even though I couldn't remember every time, but suddenly I thought that, okay, Krishna is sitting right next to me, let me focus on him. So let me not make him go away. So that really. And also, the other thing is, after I finished like about 48, the material, of course, the material attitude in me told me, okay, there were 16 more to go. But then immediately the next thought that came to my mind was, okay, we've completed 48, 16 is nothing, just 1/3 of it. So let me just go through it. So that was very, I mean, usually 16 is kind of difficult for me every day. But after today, I think it should be easy because 48 was 40 was nothing, and then 64 was nothing from that time. So it was very good that I was able to participate, and I think I can carry this. I hope and pray I can carry this over for the next few months at least before I attend another temporary retreat soon. And lastly, I want to express my gratitude to the Satguru Mataji. I say this because today afternoon, like Sunday noon Aarti, there were a lot of new people that came in. And of course, they didn't know what was happening. Everyone was sitting chanting on their own, and they were kind of confused what's happening because they're not used to this. But Mataji, I saw Mataji go to everyone, and then giving them a Japa beads, and then asking them to chant at least one round. I saw she was talking to like old people, middle-aged people, even like teens, and one parent was like newborn, probably 3 months old. So different people at different ages, but she made sure everyone chants at least one round. And I was just imagining how much security they would have gotten today. They just came in with nothing, but because of Mataji, they got to chant this one whole round, some people more, and also with the association of devotees and in front of Tulsi Maharani and in front of Haida Thakur. So I can't imagine how much security they had today. So Mataji, I've heard a lot of lectures where devotees are basically compassionate and also set as example, but I just saw it today from Mataji in person. So thank you.
Was it 48 or 64?
Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I completed 60 so far, so I hope to finish 4 more.
Oh,
Thanks to my daughter.
yeah, she'll help you. Okay. Anyone else? Particularly from the ladies' side, because the men have been more vocal. Here's one. Volume up, speak a little louder.
And amazing lectures. It's very life-transforming attending this event. But doing the Japan, this is my second event. Yeah, finally talk about the lecture event. And one thing that struck me from the lectures to Maharaj is Krishna is all attractive. Please attract me to you, Krishna. So when I'm chanting, I always was begging when my mind wanders, then I say, I don't want to wander, Krishna, please attract me to yourself. So you're all attractive, you can do this for me. That's one thing that really stuck me when I'm doing the round, that thing, always begging Krishna. And
Besides what you did you feel reciprocation?
yes, definitely.
Describe it, please.
If I sit at home and do it, it's just like, yes, I want to feel Krishna, but I never feel it that good when I just was here. I can feel the energy that's passing through me. Like even like when I went to home, I said, they just bought me some gifts for Mother's Day. I said the biggest gift for me today is if you can come to the temple and take the Maharaj blessings. That's because I can feel so much energy in me that I want to experience for my family. And I'm so grateful for the event.
Thank you. Microphone here. Can you pass the microphone?
So I think the members that who were not fortunate to attend this retreat, I would like to share some highlights that Ramakrishna Swami Maharaj exhibited very nicely the realizations of our Acharya Bhaktivinoda Thakur through his Sonagati songs. And with his spiritual advancement and his realizations. It's make whoever attends the parade one thing sit into their heart that I can see that we should fix our goal to attain the love of Krishna. And we have to become very attentive and serious about this thing. I think everyone can agree with me that it gives so much impetus that we should take it seriously, not just take this process for some, very lightly. And I think, as everybody says, that the Mataji was singing so beautifully, like everyone was feeling at that evening that we are in the spiritual world. Whenever new people were coming, they were also drowning in those ecstasies. I can see that. I would like to say that three things, as I was also mentioning my time, that we should maintain to keep up with these enthusiasms. We need to make three adjustments. I said, who remember these things? Three things is very essential. What was the first thing? Huh? Schedule. So make that your schedule on a weekly basis, what your activities are, and you make for the weekend. And then go through in detail how can you improve and spare the quality time for your education. So that was one. Second, how can you wake up early? Yes. So I humbly request everyone that we should try to go to bed at 8:30 p.m. and try to wind up your daily activity at least by 9 o'clock. Srila Prabhupada says that if you go bed after 9, to catch up the sleep of 1 hour, it will take you 2 hours. So if you go at 11 o'clock, there is no way, even if you sleep until 7, 8 o'clock, your body will never get rejuvenated. So if we want to take up chanting very nicely, then your body needs very good rest. And those time is very nice. So you go to bed at even at 9 o'clock, you will be awakened by 3:30, 4 o'clock, definitely. And you will feel completely rested. And there is no activity going on. And as we have not practiced that timing schedule, then most of the time we have been utilizing the Brahma Muhurta sleeping. So by having this practice, you will be up, and Brahma Muhurta is very, very cohesive to make the spiritual advancement. So you wake up, take bath, and then you sit down. As I mentioned, that select some secluded place in your house, and you just dedicate every single day to chant the holy name of the God. And then what was the other things? What is the offenses? What was the point I made? Holding the material attachments, right? And not having complete faith. So what should we do? What is material attachment? I describe in a single word. Money. So then I request every one of you that at least we should give 10% of our income. Because whatever the activity we are performing, we are getting so many karmas with that money. So, and also you should donate such that you should feel little pinch. Why? Because then you will having more faith in Krishna. That whatever I am doing it, before that I was not able to do it. But you will see your bank balance will never dry up. You will living the life as you are living, and you are accumulating the eternal benefit. So this is 3-4 things I would like to say that we should take on. And when you chant, like I said, that we should hear this syllabus very properly, then our mind will not go anywhere. Thank you very much.
So we're right on schedule, isn't that nice? I'm going to now shift over here where there's a yajna arena set up. And I don't know exactly how it's going to work because vows should be taken in front of the deity, so I'm not sure how. sort it out. So, come on over here, I guess the cloths and all your nice sitting places can come over. Or you can stay where you want, we'll just be over here on this side. As you wish. What's the plan? They stay there, we'll just shift over here.
We stay we take a bow swing
Yeah,
and then we can move there for the
Yeah.
area.
yeah, that's nice. I like that. Okay. So have a seat, those of you that are going to be initiated, and then after we do everything, similar to what we do in Houston. We do everything in Houston, this is our temple president in Houston. So when there's initiations in Houston, we do everything before the deity, and then the yajna goes into the Varunga hall. Next room. That's what we do. Are there some issues for everybody? Or no? Okay, so that's neighbors. That's. So I'll just, I think what I'll do is a little different. I'll just speak something. And then. And then we'll shift. I have to check on some of the first. Do we have the drum summit sheets? Yeah. Can we pass this on? Okay. At the beginning of a function like this, it's traditional that the mantras are chanted for invoking auspiciousness. So we happen to have copies that very soon you're going to get a copy of Sri Brahma Samhita. Sri Brahma Samhita is a set of prayers that Lord Brahma personally composed, the original preceptor of our Sampradaya, upon his mature realization of the ocean of truth, the truths about the absolute truth, the personality of God or Krishna. So if you don't read Sanskrit so well, you can just listen to the refrain at the end of each line is Govindavadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. And these prayers are describing the spiritual world, the form of Krishna, the abode of Krishna, the loving pastimes of Krishna. It's describing the process of approaching Him, the process of understanding Him. It's describing the process of creation. It's describing the various devas, or the controllers of the universe and their relationship with Govinda, and so many other nice things. Very comprehensive in short form. So now we'll begin. We'll chant together. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Anadi Govinda Sarvakaranam Chintamani Katara Sarva Vriksha Lakshadesha Surgina Vikanayantam Lakshmi Sahasrashata Sambramakshayamanam Govindamani Krishna Vedum Brahmanam Paralim Tadaya Sakram Bhagavatam Samasikham Vasukaranam Tamdar Bhagavati Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamani Krishna So this is Mother's Day. Auspicious day for chanting 64 rounds, and your time's over. To connect what we've been doing over the weekend, taking shelter of Krishna's holy name, more specifically the theme is returning to our original shelter. Taking shelter of the holy name is something very, very special. This evening we're honoring initiation into the chanting of the holy name, Harinam Diksha, and one of our devotees here will be receiving Gayatri mantras also. The process of initiation, one to connect Mother's Day with what we're doing. The process of initiation is a formal acceptance by Krishna and the line of disciplic succession coming from Krishna down to the present link in that chain of disciplic succession to Krishna. It signifies acceptance by Krishna of a living entity that has gone away from Krishna and is now come back. So the formal acceptance, becoming part of Krishna's family. Prabhupada explained like this. Most of you are from India. Those of you that aren't won't understand what I'm about to say. There's a tradition that according to the family in which you're born, there's a gotra. I heard a lecture, or it wasn't a lecture, it was a conversation. Prabhupada was describing his family. Abhay Charan Day. So this day is a certain gotra. And there's two divisions of days, this group and that group. Didn't exactly understand that. And that was his gotra. And then Prabhupada was explaining, once one receives Diksha, then one becomes part of Achyuta gotra. You become literally mother and father combine to produce a child, and then there's a certain gotra in which the child is born. And Dvija is when one becomes formally part of the family of Krishna. Just to emphasize this. I'm not born in India. And so I'm gotraless. But having taken initiation from the mind of Lord Brahma and Madhvacharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then a connection with Krishna is established by that Diksha process. So many of you, some of you are from South India, and if you're not from South India, you've been to temples in South India, as have I. And when visiting temples, often I meet with a group of devotees and some local devotee, because I'm at saffron cloth, I go to the front of the line. It's interesting, like you just wait, say hi to everybody, you just go right to the front of the line for darshan of the deity. And then the priest does some special little puja for this person, the sannyasi, whoever it is that comes forward. Some rupees and some special offerings for the deity. And then he says some mantras, and to say the mantras, he needs to know your name, and he needs to know your gotra, right? So by now the priests have gotten used to it. You know, whatever, Brahmapada Swami, Achyuta gotra. Gotra less from birth, but Achyuta gotra from initiation. So that process of initiation requires a spiritual master. And it also requires mother. And the mother is the Vedas. Because it's through the agency of the mother that one comes to know who is the father. The Vedas disclose the absolute truth. The absolute truth is the Supreme Person. So the Vedas are the mother, and the spiritual master delivers the knowledge of the Vedas, that's the father, and then would become part of the Achyuta gotra. Because the knowledge that's given by the spiritual master, if he's acting in a proper way, is the knowledge of the Vedas, and the knowledge of the Vedas discloses the Father, the absolute truth. There's a very nice chapter, and a whole series of chapters from Bhagavad Gita, just like Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, 18 chapters. Famous section of Mahabharata. Outstanding section of Mahabharata. Similarly, there's a very wonderful section where Krishna is instructing another very, very dear devotee named Uddhava. Outside of Vrindavan, the most elevated and confidential associate of Krishna was Uddhava. But Uddhava, he was so intimately associated with Krishna that he knew before Krishna was going to depart, that Krishna was going to depart. They were together constantly in Dwarka. Now, we know that Arjuna was often with Krishna. But many times Krishna would go to Dwarka. He wasn't with Pandavas. He would come when there was difficulty or some circumstance, and he would go back to Dwarka. Yeah. How many years did Krishna live or remain on earth? Around 125. How many of those years were spent in Vrindavan? 12. And how much do we know about Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan? So much. Krishna spent a shorter number of years in Mathura. And the rest of his life was in Dwarka, and his constant companion in Dwarka was Uddhava. Uddhava was so confidential that Krishna accepted him as a minister. And whenever Krishna had to make a tough decision, he'd ask Uddhava what she would do. And whenever Uddhava would say, that's what Krishna would do. Krishna doesn't need to take anybody's advice about anything. It's just describing the relationship. That's the intimacy of Uddhava. But Uddhava, being so intimately related to Krishna, he knew Krishna was going to leave. And he was literally broken. So he went sobbing. How am I going to exist without you? Krishna knows that he would, same as how Arjuna was able to exist without Krishna, by his instructions. There's a really nice section in Canto 1, Srimad Bhagavatam. Arjuna was sent to go to Dwarka to get news about Krishna because there was this kind of unspoken apprehension Krishna's going to leave. They didn't want to say it, but they intuitively knew it, felt it. Arjuna was gone for a long, too long. And then auspicious omens. They knew what was going on, but they didn't want to say it. Finally, Arjuna came back. He looked wasted, like smashed. It didn't look the same. You just hear it said, you don't look so good. What happened? Krishna's gone. And he expresses his heart's deep felt feelings for Krishna. And again and again, and again and again, and again and again. Then he starts remembering Krishna's instructions that he gave on the Kurukshetra battle, his Bhagavad Gita instructions, and then he felt rejuvenated. And then a little realization, in the midst of all these expressions of his deep feelings, he realized that Krishna didn't leave, in the sense that Krishna left his association in the form of his instructions. And by remembering Krishna's instructions, Arjuna felt connected with Krishna again. Same for us. So in Uddhava, wonderful, wonderful instructions. Uddhava Gita. Those of you that don't have Srimad Bhagavatam in your home, someday, please bring Krishna in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam into your home. And One of the chapters, if you read through the 11th canto, in the Buddha Gita section, there's a whole chapter on the Vedas. Krishna is describing how the Vedic process works. Of course, it's the source of the Vedas. How old is Krishna? He's eternal. How old are the Vedas? They're co-eternal, as eternal as Krishna is. And the Vedas disclose Krishna. That's the purpose of the Vedas. As well as so many other things that are parts of the spiritual world and the material world, and how the whole system works is within the Vedas. So the Vedas are, once again, connecting Mother's Day with what we're doing. The Vedas disclose Krishna. The mother discloses the identity of the child to the child. So we're the aspiring, returning back to the spiritual world candidate. We must approach the Vedas. So one part of, I referred to this earlier, those of you that have Srimad Bhagavatam, when you go home, you can look it up. Canto 11, chapter 21, text 36. 21 is about the Vedas, the Vedic process. Krishna is describing it. And in that verse 36, Krishna describes the different sounds. The Vedas are conveyed through sound. It gets a little technical. And then the commentary is even more technical. But there are 4 kinds of sounds. One kind of sound is what you hear with your auditory facility. You hear sound that passes through ether. Now, ether is also within solids and liquids and gases. Like you can hear sound underwater because ether is subtle and it's within water. Or ether is subtle, it's within solids. But the sound travels through ether and the auditory sense can pick it up. Now you have to have the right frequency for these ears to hear. Just like as we're sitting here, if you don't have your cell phone switched off and someone sends you a signal, your cell phone's going to ring because as we're sitting here, not only cell phone signals, but radio signals, television signals, all kinds of different frequency signals are being passed. You just have to have a receiver. And the receiver brings it to a frequency that your ear can hear. And that's one of the types of sound. There's 3 others. It's a very deep science. In fact, the purport explains ordinary people cannot understand it. But yogis understand it, and therefore yogis, by mantra, by sound, they can make a sound vibration, make something happen that like looks mystical. Because things move by sound. Just like when in 2004, when that big tsunami, big tidal wave came, it was tectonic plates shifted. But it wasn't just the shifting of the place, it was the sound caused this tidal wave. And hundreds of thousands of people were killed as a result of that sound wave. Matter moves by force of sound. You can make glass shatter, you can do all kinds of things through it. Once they learn about it in war technology, they'll just make certain sounds and kill people. But that's just the auditory type. So the verse says there's 3 other types, and they're internal, ones you can't hear. And they're situated within certain chakras, the heart chakra, the navel chakra, and so forth. And Vedic sounds vibrate those sounds. They resonate, just like a tuning fork. You have to excuse me, I have a science background. To me, it's fascinating. When I was a little boy, once upon a time I was a little boy, this lifetime, and I had 3 sisters and they liked to play piano. And so it was one of those old kind of pianos, and periodically a piano tuner would come to tune the piano. I was fascinated to see what he would do. It looked like a guitar case. He opened up the thing, and inside were tuning forks, like a bar that goes into a Y shape or like a T-lock shape. And then he had a little rubber mallet. So he pulled out the little rubber mallet and pulled out the C tuning fork, hit it, and it vibrated. And then he would hold it by the C piano chord, and it would vibrate. He didn't touch it, he just held it near, and the piano chord would vibrate. And if it was in tune, then there'd be certain harmonic spaces where the chord would go like this, and if it was out of tune, it would be this shape, so you tighten it, loosen it, strike the mallet, open near the chord. And I learned something from that. He didn't have to touch the tuning fork to the chord, he just held it near. Similarly, Vedic sound works the same way. There's material sound, and therefore there's mantras that move matter. And they move matter within the body, as well as, you know, the kind of sound vibration you can hear moves matter in a different way. It affects consciousness, because matter affects consciousness because of false ego. So there's details, you can read it. But there's a kind of sound that's fully spiritual. It's part of the science of the Vedas. And that's what mantra is, Maha Mantra. There's material mantras for killing people, and creating mystical things, and flying cities, and so forth. And there's mantras that are just for the soul, for awakening the original consciousness of the soul. And this Maha Mantra, amongst such mantras, is the foremost, actually. According to the Upanishad, Kali Sanartana Upanishad, this Maha Mantra is the foremost of all sacred sounds for awakening the consciousness of the soul. And specifically, the feature of the soul is what we've been speaking about this whole weekend, taking shelter. The absolute truth, the origin of everything, because the Vedas are disclosing, even when it's dealing with material things, there's the origin of those material things, and the controller of those material things. Krishna declares about him, he's the controller of Prakriti. And mantras can help move Prakriti because they connect ultimately with the source of Prakriti. Because nothing can happen. Prakriti can't move. Not a blade of grass can move without the sanction of the Supreme Lord. Behind everything is the absolute truth, the cause of all causes. So this Maha Mantra, where this is initiation into the chanting of Maha Mantra, it's very special event. It's from some period of time of the devotees who are accepting the shelter of Achyuta through the Achyuta Gotra, the line from Lord Achyuta, to take the names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and seriously cultivate, just as we heard Shamsundar say, with a schedule early in the morning and with strong intention of taking shelter of Krishna. In the beginning, it may be just wanting to get relief. In the higher stages, as one advances, is the commitment to one's relationship with Krishna, at least the beginning of making a commitment in one's relationship with Krishna. That's when initiation comes. It's described. Anyone can chant. And initiation is for those that are very serious about making that connection with Krishna through spiritual sound. And then the soul itself making connection with Krishna once again, sheltering the personality of Godhead Krishna through the process of devotional service. There's some mantras that Prabhupada liked to quote when initiation, or the topic of initiation was discussed. Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. Jigyasu means an inquiry. Shreya Uttama. The Shreya is long-term benefit and Uttama is ultimate long-term benefit. Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. That person, Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta. Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. The person who has that kind of inquisitiveness, they must have that connection with the spiritual master. Shabde Pareja Nishnatam Brahmani Upashamashaya. Shabde Pareja Nishnatam. The qualification of Guru is they've heard the conclusions of the Vedas, they've accepted the conclusions of the Vedas, and they can Brahmani Upashamashaya. And the other considerations are at a distance. Basically, they're saying yes to Krishna and not saying yes, but saying, no, thank you to Maya. Moving clearly in the direction of the Vedas that are taking one to the shelter of Krishna. So it's an auspicious event. We thank Mother Veda for disclosing this process, and those that are representing the Vedas, particularly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the chanting of Krishna's holy name is the means for deliverance in this age, and through our disciplic succession, bringing it to us, particularly our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, who gave us this international society for Krishna consciousness. It's interesting. Just share something. There's so many interesting things. I travel as a sannyasi, and it's almost every third place I meet somebody that, in 2002, I was in Pradipur, a place in Andhra, visiting a person I know who was a school teacher in Andhra. And somebody who attended a gathering that I was teaching in Pradipur is now an initiated devotee Pujari in our center in suburban Chicago temple. 2002, 2017. I don't remember. I remember going to Pradipur. I don't remember meeting this young man. Nice devotee. So, in short, in that work of how this wonderful gift of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness has propagated, just like this book stand in Tamil and Telugu, whatever you name it, languages, all over the world. In the 2 different Chinese dialects, and how many different ones in Russia, and on and on and on and on. The same teachings all over the world. So the world that we live in today, people are working here at this time and they're working there at that time, and they want to know, where's their devotees in Timbuktu? I mean, in every week I get maybe a half a dozen. Where's their association in Indianapolis, Indiana? My son is going to college in such and such place. Is there any devotees there? You get the idea. This worldwide Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said like this. He didn't use the English terminology, it was Sanskrit. Vaishnava Vishva Raja Sabha. Sabha is the association of persons. Raja Sabha. Vaishnava Vishva Raja Sabha is this whole worldwide network of association. And Bhaktisiddhanta says it's always present, just like the river may sometimes go underground, you can't see it. But after some time it surfaces again. Similarly, the worldwide association of devotees, it's already there. And what brings it out? Spiritual sound. Spiritual sound. Spiritual sound awakens the dormant Krishna consciousness within. It's so nice. It's so nice. Doesn't matter what your culture is. Of course, here's largely non-resident Indian families. But it's not restricted to non-resident Indian families. Believe me, it's a worldwide organization. And if that spiritual sound is brought into contact with souls, it awakens. The dormant Krishna consciousness awakens. I wish I had an hour and a half to give you anecdotal stories of just wonderful experiences of how spiritual sound awakens in the hearts of persons from all different types of cultures and backgrounds. So we're celebrating this Harinam Diksha, persons taking shelter of the Buddhistic succession. I don't know if there's been one of these in quite a while here in Phoenix, but thank you for coming this evening and participating. Now the procedure is the candidates will take vows to complete a certain amount of chanting daily and so forth, follow some rules. They'll be given a spiritual name. These are just the procedures exactly according to the Vaishnava Tantra found within the Vedas. So, the Pancharatriki Viti, that section of the Vedas. So we'll go to that just now. Why don't you go first? Go before Srila Prabhupada, your obeisances. We're going to do the initiation vows. Right. And receive your name. We have if you don't mind, we'll take a little bit of time, not exactly standard procedures, but it's really nice. Some of you don't know these initiation candidates. Some of you do. So I'll call on certain persons to say 2 or 3 minutes about their appreciation for these devotees. He's first, he just made business. Okay, go ahead.
I'll be substituting for Rishi Prabhu. He was going to speak about Chandra Prabhu. So just to let you know that you probably haven't seen Rishi Prabhu. Would you like to speak a little about Chandra Prabhu, please? Just a couple of minutes. Just, I'd like to let you know that they were here for 5 years before they moved to Dallas. Change of work made them move to Dallas. His wife Sundaranjali Mataji still commutes to Phoenix from Dallas, but the family has moved to Dallas, but they had their roots here. And Chandra Prabhu said this morning, I really feel at home, and my chanting is so much easier in front of Shri Radha Madhavai, so that made us feel good. We missed them a lot, and we're happy that they're here for the initiation.
Thank you, Krishna. First of all, thank you, Maharaj, for conducting this retreat here. And Shantanu Prabhu and Chicago devotees for giving the wonderful association. Dr. Sri Lati Mataji to taking a lot of effort to put all this together. I've been known Chandra Prabhu and Sarita Mataji for last few years when we were in the initial stage of our ISKCON association. And then their association really a wonderful devotees. I mean, their focus is on sadhana and accountability, and their association really helps us to take our sadhana to the next level. Especially both in the morning, 5 to 6, there is a chanting, group chanting, Dali conference. So they are always there. And Mataji's schedule is between Phoenix and Dallas, but they are always there. And their morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, they always encourage Rudy to take participate. And personally, I have benefited a lot, especially understanding the whole ISKCON process and how to be strong in sadhana. So the really wonderful devotees, we really make the association, but they are still coming here and helping us. So I would also encourage to take the association, and I learned a lot from them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Should we talk about Jyoti Mataji next?
Although his name and
Maharaj, Shikita will say a couple of words.
okay.
So I've known Sundaranjali Mataji and Chandra Prabhu for 3 years, and they really helped us initially in the Krishna space. I still remember initially we used to call them from the grocery store asking one Mataji, can you use this vegetable for boga, or can I buy this milk brand? Since then, they're getting us, and very grateful for the association. And one more point about Mataji is that they're very regular in connecting with Srimad Bhagavatam calls in the morning. She's attached to the call. Mataji is so attracted to the call or attached to the call that even if others are not listening to the call, she'll ask them to join from another line from the same house, and then they'll be in the call and they'll be discussing Bhagavatam to each other. So that's how dedicated they are, and that really inspires me and my family. So I'm really happy that we moved to Dallas. We still have the station here in Phoenix, and around Madhya. And I pray and hope that our association continues and they keep guiding us.
And Chandra Prabhu really is very good at his services. When he used to be here, he would take on a lot of seva for Janmashtami, and starting from the pre-Janmashtami preparations to the cleaning. He would be one would be here after you all left, midnight, past midnight. Prabhu would be here till 2 o'clock in the morning helping us clean up. Very, very dedicated and always had a smile on his face. miss it terribly. And whatever he did perfectly, he did nicely. He was very, very conscientious about how he conducted his seva here.
Okay. Nothing else. In the presence of Shri Madhavahari and all the other deities on the altar, and in front of the Vaishnavas and all the noisy children, how many rounds of chant every day? 16. The rules that you'll follow?
No eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no exercise.
Okay. And you'll make your best effort to carefully follow Srila Prabhupada's teaching for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Initiated name is Charu Chandra Das. Charu means beautiful. Charu Chandra, beautiful name. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is likened to the golden moon. So what do you go next? Who's going to speak?
So very happy to have Santosh Prabhu take initiation. He has only been in Phoenix, in US for about a year, but he has been with ISKCON for over 9 years, and he was 5 years in Mumbai and then 5 years in Hyderabad. And he's been chanting 60 rounds for almost 10 years, between 9 and 10 years. Over in Mumbai and Hyderabad, he was involved in book distribution and teaching children. He also helped with summer classes. He has completed his Bhakti Shastri and has started his Bhakti Varga. He reads the Prabhupada's books every day, and he's been chanting minimum 16 rounds every day. When we listen to him, he's very, very humble and very inspiring. He's quiet, very hardworking, and despite the change of country and so forth, he's kept up with his chanting and reading. He reads the Bhagavad Gita daily and one of the Prabhupada's books for at least 20 minutes every day, so very inspiring. I'm going to ask Srinivas Prabhu to also speak a little bit about him.
Yeah, any brothers? He's your brother?
He's my neighbor, but
Neighbor.
both together
Go
at
ahead.
the same
When we moved from San Diego, I could go and Prabhu, going back to message in the WhatsApp saying that you want to stay here, zip code 85027. I said, yes, I'm staying here. So he said, please help me. So we moved from San Diego on Saturday, so I started bringing the temple from last 6 months. Now get back and there. Santosh Prabhu, maybe he looks very humble or anything, but when you speak to him, if you have any doubts, seriously brings all the quotes from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, whatever the doubts, really comes with all the mantras, all the things. Really, every weekend we travel about 40 minutes, but when I was in the car, we always discuss about some quotes from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. We think like the travel is just 10 minutes. Like, thanks. From now onwards, I have an initiative in my car. I'm very happy. Thanks.
Okay, now your initiation vows, how many rounds do you chant every day?
Minimum 16 rounds.
And the 4 rules that you follow?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no diseases, no gambling.
Okay. And you'll carefully follow Srila Prabhupada's teachings the rest of your life.
Yes.
Initiated name is Sankarshan Das. Name requires no explanation. Okay, you can pause that if necessary.
So, is Jyoti Mataji. So we talked about some people being quiet. Jyoti Mataji is in quieter. Yet, she's very focused in her chanting and in her sadhana. She's one person who's been super punctual, descending her sadhana chats for a couple of years. Never have to remind her, never have to call her. Every week, same time, I get her sadhana chat. I'm very proud of her. And she chants, she tries to chant for 16 hours before most of the time in the morning. And she has 2 children, a lot of responsibility, she works, and she manages to do that. So we can learn a lot from somebody like Jyoti Mataji. Very challenging situations, and here she comes through because of her sadhana and her chanting. She reads every day about the Gita, and she listens to Maharaj's lectures. And she was one person, we never mentioned her by name, but when we were celebrating the 50th anniversary of ISKCON, I kept saying we want to read some of Prabhupada's small books, and I kept saying when I was asking you all to help me so that we could meet our goal, because at our case we are not meeting it. And I said we need to all individually read the books. So guess what? Jyoti Mataji wrote me a little note. Mataji, don't worry. I'm going to read the books. And very soon there were 35 books read by Mataji. Please give a big hand. She made us keep our vow, our pledge that we would read 50 books. So we read about 15 and Mataji read 56. She read more than that. Thank you so much for your dedication. I'm very happy that it's initiated today. My best wishes. None of you will say a couple of words.
Hare Krishna. Along with all the other qualities that Mataji just mentioned about Jyoti Mataji, I just want to say that I have known her as a friend, and our kids went to school together, so I've just known her personally. She's just such a compassionate person, very friendly, super helpful. For any of the other things, I can just call her anytime and I know she will be there for me. So just as a person, I just want to say that she's just such a humble person and very super friendly. So along with that added qualities of being a devotee, so I just can, I'm just so happy for you today getting initiated.
It's a little hard to hear people saying these things when you're being praised, but it's maybe for the benefit of the community so you can appreciate the individuals. Okay, so your vows, before Radhamada Bahari and Srila Prabhupada and the Vaishnavas, how many rounds you chant every day?
Minimum 16.
And the rules you follow?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex.
Okay. And Srila Prabhupada's teachings will be the teachings you carefully try to follow. Initiated name is Achyuta Priya Dasi. Okay. And we're going to now shift over to this little area. And Shamsun is going to conduct the